Good morning, everybody. Hope you all slept well last night. This is Undisputed. Welcome in. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Jen Hale. That's Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Hi, guys.
Good morning, Jen. How are you?
I cannot believe what I just saw. Ohtani strikes out Trout with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, right here on FS1. It nearly measured up to some of the classic moments we've had here on Undisputed, right?
Yeah. Skip, I just threw that out yesterday. Did not realize it could possibly happen that the bottom.
Well, no, everybody was anticipating it had a shot.
But you wanted teammates against teammates.
Well, it was it. That was some way to finish that off.
Yeah.
Woo. It was fantastic. It all came down to 2 superstars, and it was can't miss TV. This morning, though, guys, let's start with Skip's Cowboys. They're continuing to make off-season moves, and we need to unpack some of them. A week after trading for Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore, Dallas signed free agent running back Ronald Jones to a 1-year deal. They re-signed Dante Fowler, who had 6 sacks for Dallas last season. Bob Sturm of The Athletic said the Cowboys have, quote, shocked their cynical fan base in a wonderfully optimistic way with these off-season moves so far. All right, Shannon, speaking of cynical, are the Cowboys winning the offseason?
What does it matter about the offseason? We've come out here for even when you were on the old show, for 10 years in a row, who won the offseason? The Washington football team. They used to go by another name. And every year they spend hundreds of millions. They get Albert Haynesworth, and they get this quarterback, and they get this cornerback, and this, go back to Deion Sanders, and they win the offseason every single year. And every single year, what happens, Skip? Same thing with your Cowboys. Okay, yeah, they made some. I like the Brandon Cooks move because now I believe he's a number 2 receiver, legit number 2 receiver. Gallup gets to go back to his old role. You look at the season that he had when Amari was there, he played well. Mm-hmm. Now the expectations are a little lower for him as the 3 receiver as opposed to the 2 receiver. Mm-hmm. Okay, you get Dante Fowler. Considering where he was drafted at, he has underachieved in his career. Now, I'm not going to get a mega horn and say, oh, my God, the Cowboys re-signed Dante Fowler. Stop it. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not T.J. Watt. He's not Aaron Donald. He's a nice piece. He's a nice rotational piece for the defensive line that can rotate a lot of different guys and apply consistent pressure.
Okay, he did have 6 sacks playing a very limited role. You got to give him some credit.
I gave him some credit.
All right.
Considering he was the 3rd pick in the draft. And Skip, just think about what you just said. He did have 6 sacks as the 3rd pick in the draft. Mm-hmm. That guy we should be talking about him for potential Hall of Fame, not 6 sacks in a season. Okay, I digress. Stephon Gilmore, I like Gilly, but let me ask you a question. Can he make more plays than Dak can turn the ball over? What's the likelihood of Gilly going like Dak went a game? How many games did he go straight? 7 games where he turned the ball over at least once? You think Gilly can have 7 games where he has at least a pick? No.
He might have 7 games where he breaks up at least 1 pass.
Okay, breaks up a pass or turn the ball over. We know Dak went on a streak. You remember that streak he had, Skip?
Yeah.
He missed 5 games and led the league in turnovers. What do you think the likelihood of Stephon Gilmore missing 5 games and leading the league in takeaways? Not very good. So, look, you added some nice pieces, but at the end of the day, this man has sat across with me for almost 7 years and told me the most important position, all the quarterbacks should be more valuable. When we have the top 100, we come out here and you're like, how's a quarterback 50? How's a quarterback 30? And now all of a sudden, because your team has made a few offseason moves, you over here just keying inside.
I am.
I know you are. But guess what you have? You've just spent the better part of 2 months trying to get rid of the guy. You say, Jerry, I know it's a big move, but why don't you just call Green Bay and see if they're willing to take problem for problem?
Trade him. Trade problems,
exactly.
Man. We'll take him. We'll take a shot.
But you still got him.
Yep.
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones.
So you want me to get excited about Ronald Jones?
I do.
A guy that could not get carries from Pacheco. He could not get carries from McKinnon.
Nope.
Or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Tampa say, no, we saw enough of you. You got fumbleitis. And now you got him, and now all of a sudden you happy, you excited. You told me he had gotten the doghouse in Tampa. But now everybody, see, this is what I noticed about you, Skip, baby. You might not like somebody over there, but the moment they put that star on that helmet, oh, that guy, Ronald Jones, you know what he was there? Old Rojo.
Well, he's had almost 1,000 yards for a team that went to win the Super Bowl.
Rojo was like Cujo. He in the doghouse. That's what you said, Bruce Arians.
I'll take Cujo. I'll take him.
Okay. Skip, I'm not finna get excited about you guys. Look, the best pieces that you add, I like the Brandon Cooks piece because I do think it gives you a weapon, a deep speed weapon outside. Let CD work the slot, the middle of the field. And I like Stephon Gilmore because it gives you a bona fide, a legit guy on the other side that you don't have question marks opposite of Diggs, Trayvon Diggs. But I'm not finna get all upset because I already know what y'all gonna do. I'll tell you what, since y'all won the offseason, bet y'all don't win the East.
Okay, I'll bet that right now.
Look at it. I will. I can have
I'll
it.
bet that. I'll take that bet right here, right now.
Right now.
I will.
Oh, so now all of a sudden you opted Jalen Hurts. You hear that? Oh, he was a Hurts fan in Alabama and Oklahoma, and I told you the Eagles' life would change when they got Jalen Hurts. And now you talk about Dak better than Hurts.
I got 10 cases right here, right now that my Cowboys win the East. I got 10. Will you take it? Going once, going twice, going...
I'll take it.
Thank you.
I'll take it.
Boom! Shannon Sharp, I am getting such a kick out of this because it's such a kick in your pants. Here's the point that I believe you are missing. What's the old weather cliche about March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb? Comes in very cold and goes out starting to warm up like a lamb.
Yes.
Jerry Jones, March after March after March, does not march anywhere. He goes nowhere slowly. He comes in like a lamb and he goes out like a lamb.
Right.
All of a sudden, in a shock to me and to Bob Sturm and Cowboy Nation, Jerry Jones has come into March like a lion and he has gone out like the king of the jungle. And he has done it while preserving his mantra. We build through the draft. You're still building through the draft because they have every pick left in every round. They have one pick in every round because they went out and made 2 blockbuster trades that required only an extra fifth, a compensatory fifth rounder, and another extra compensatory fifth rounder. That's all they lost. They still have their own 5th round pick.
Right.
So Jerry just pulled off winning the offseason so far. We still got a little ways to go. Winning the offseason while still preserving the firepower that they have flexed so often in the draft, because you got to give them this. They do draft very well.
Yeah.
They swung and missed on Jalen Tolbert, which is why Brandon Cooks was such a big deal to go add. I don't know what happened, but they've hit on so many draft picks. See Tyler Smith, their first pick last year. I questioned it the day after because
played really well.
I was like, what? Tyler Smith, and you left him on the table and him on the table? Tyler Smith was a revelation. And you can move him. You got all kinds of opportunities. You can move him back to left guard, or he didn't just survive at left tackle. I think he was really good at left tackle.
Himself well.
I mean, I think you could have made a case, though it's very hard to make a case, that he was an offensive player of the year rookie candidate, as a rookie offensive player of the year. Okay, so I trust them because I trust the people around Jerry, but Jerry's going to make the final decision on draft night. But I do trust them to mostly make the right picks and sometimes some great picks in the draft. Well, you just pulled this off without Jerry's anti-free agency. The last one was Brandon used car that he plunged on, and you have to go back to, what was it, 2012? It's the last time he spent some big money in free agency. Well, he did not plunge in free agency. He spent pennies in free agency, and he didn't do it until yesterday. Yesterday, he made 2 pennies move because he got 2 bottom-of-the-barrel sort of bargain basement free agents. Ronald Jones made $1.5 million for Kansas City. They have not announced exactly what he got yesterday.
It's probably a minimum
deal. But it's 1 year, but it's right there. It's like another, he got 1.5. And then they signed an offensive lineman named Chuma Idoga, who was drafted in the 3rd round by the Jets, played for the Jets in Atlanta last year. I know nothing about him. He's just a backup offensive lineman. But I do know this. Ronald Jones played at USC. Chuma Idoga played at USC. I like the pedigree when you get 2 USC kids because they were top recruits in college football and went to USC and played very well at USC and were very high draft picks because, remember, Ronald Jones was the 38th overall pick, so he was high in the second round. Okay, so do I think Ronald Jones is going to change life? I do not. But look, it was a big deal for Jerry Jones. He showed me something. He cut bait with Ezekiel Elliott, his son Zeke, whom he had dramatically overpaid when he was holding out in Cabo, running in Cabo San. Then he came back to Dallas, and he's still running in Cabo San. Right. And for the next 3 years, he fell off, more off, and completely off to the very bottom.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, a lot of people thought that Zeke could have easily gotten cut the previous year.
Well, he could have.
Saw his impact decline.
Right.
So I don't think anybody thinks that's a big shock.
All right. So I got to quickly mention this.
Okay.
My man, Emmitt Smith, you know Emmitt very well. You used to know him very well when he was a player.
Yep.
All right, so I think this was a tweet, if I'm not mistaken. I think he tweeted about this. He blasted the Cowboys for cutting Zeke, and he said, our starting running back is gone, and his backup has a broken leg. He doesn't have a broken leg. He's an ankle issue. Right. We're talking about Tony Pollard, but this is still Emmitt going on. He says, it don't make sense, and this is one of those things that make you shake your head. Thank you, Zeke, for giving everything you have, including playing injured all of last year. Okay, he always had something going on with the knee. Right. It was strained or it was somehow tweaked. But Shannon, you and I both know he hit the wall even harder than he used to hit holes. Mm-hmm. And he did die for the cause. He ran hard. Man, you want to talk about blasting the ball up the gut on short yardage, and he was still fairly effective on short yardage last year.
I think he had like 12 touchdowns, didn't he, Skip?
Okay, but